Welcome back to your astrological journey with me, Luna Celestine. Today is April 6th, 2025, and I invite you, dear Leo, to take a moment to pause, breathe, and truly listen to what's stirring within and around you. You may have been sensing it already, a shift, a subtle pull towards something new. Perhaps it's a quiet urge to move forward, to change course, or to finally answer a calling that's been waiting in the background. As a Leo, your natural light and desire to lead are undeniable, but sometimes it is in the stillness that the clearest guidance emerges. Today's message is more than a forecast. It's a personal alignment with the energy of a breakthrough. A stroke of luck is making its way to you, one that could alter the direction of your life. But in order to recognize and receive it, you'll need clarity, presence, and a willingness to tune out the noise and return to your own center. Together, we'll explore what this day holds for you across your work, finances, relationships, and well-being, and uncover the quiet yet powerful messages the universe is offering just for you. There's a gentle reminder in the stars today, Leo. Not everything needs to happen all at once. In fact, forcing outcomes, especially when they feel misaligned or rushed, may only lead you further from the clarity you seek. You are standing on the edge of something meaningful, but this next step cannot be taken through urgency or pressure. It must come through presence. The kind of presence that allows you to feel what's truly right, not just what seems timely or convenient. Your body holds more wisdom than you may realize. When the mind becomes cluttered with choices and competing voices, the body often knows the truth first. If you've been holding on to restlessness, tension, or emotional weight, it may be time to move, not to escape, but to reconnect. A quiet walk, a few moments of stretching, even gentle movement to music. These simple actions can clear a path through the noise. The goal is not to do more, but to let the motion bring you back to yourself. And as you move, you may find that the past begins to loosen its grip. Emotional remnants, old disappointments, unresolved feelings, memories that still sting, are not meant to follow you into what's next, but they often do unless you intentionally set them down. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is not about forgetting or excusing. It is about freeing space within your spirit. You do not have to carry what no longer belongs to your present life. Let this be a quiet invitation to make room. Something new is waiting for you, Leo. Not just a change in circumstance, but a shift in how you hold yourself, how you relate to others, and how you claim what's rightfully yours. You don't need to chase it. Simply return to the calm, steady voice within. That is where your direction lies, and soon you will see the right doors will open, without struggle and in perfect time. The financial upswing you're beginning to notice, Leo, is not random. It's the result of a long cycle you've quietly and patiently endured. Perhaps recently you've had to adjust your spending habits, live more mindfully, and even deny yourself certain desires in order to maintain your foundation. Now, what you're receiving in return isn't just greater material comfort, but a deeper sense of self-worth. Opportunities may present themselves in subtle ways: a collaborative offer, an unexpected stream of income, or an expansion of something you've already been nurturing. However they appear, welcome them with discernment and steadiness. Managing your resources at this stage requires more than simply responding to what shows up. It's about developing a long-term perspective. There are times to invest, to give, and to open your hand, and other times when restraint becomes your most powerful tool. You don't need to chase every possibility that crosses your path. Instead, practice discerning which ones truly align with your values right now. A sincere conversation with someone who has walked this path before, someone who carries real-life wisdom, can make all the difference. Don't hesitate to seek them out. The universe often sends the right teachers when we're ready to listen. Understand that in a season of luck, the true challenge lies not in receiving, but in how you manage what comes. This is your invitation to enter a new kind of relationship with money, one grounded in awareness rather than fear. The numbers 7, 24, 35, 52, 68, and 83 aren't magical codes, but symbols, signs that remind you you're moving in the right direction when you act with mindfulness, balance, and self-respect. And what's remarkable is that as you begin to feel more stable and mature in your financial world, a shift begins to ripple outward, especially in your personal relationships. Love becomes less about need or uncertainty and more about natural, healthy giving. We'll explore that emotional evolution in the next part. Leo, you're entering a deeply transformative phase in your emotional life, not because of someone else, but because something within you is shifting. In the past, you may have coped with emotional pain by moving on quickly, by staying busy, or by convincing yourself you were already fine. But now the universe is offering a different kind of space, a quieter, more honest one, where you're invited to look back, not with regret, but with gentleness. This is not a time for force or performance. It's a time for softness. The more honestly you allow yourself to heal, the more open you become to receiving love that is true and meaningful. You may feel the stirrings of a new connection, or perhaps the reemergence of someone from the past, this time carrying a different energy, more grounded, more present, more capable of truly seeing you. Whether it's someone new or familiar, what matters most is that you're no longer approaching love from a place of lack. You're not looking to be completed. You are learning to meet others from a place of inner fullness. When you no longer need to be loved in order to feel whole, you also no longer lose yourself in the process of loving. That's when love has a real chance to grow. Naturally, steadily, and with integrity. This shift may also help you recognize that in the past, you gave everything to others while giving very little to yourself. Now, self-love is no longer a concept, it's a practice. It shows up in how you set boundaries, how you express your emotions honestly, and how you choose not to compromise with relationships that no longer serve your well-being. When you begin to live from that truth, only relationships that can hold space for the real you will remain, and the ones that can't will quietly fall away as part of your natural evolution. This emotional healing doesn't exist in isolation. It begins to touch every other part of your life. Your sleep, your energy levels, your outlook on the day ahead. A calm heart leads to a clearer body and a more centered mind. And this, in turn, becomes the foundation for a healthier rhythm in every area of your life. We'll continue into that next to Beckenham where well-being isn't just something you manage, but something you begin to embody day by day. Leo, there's a quiet momentum building around your professional life, a sense that all the effort, persistence, and long days you've invested are beginning to come full circle. Recognition is not far off. Whether it's a promotion, a new opportunity, or simply the growing respect of those around you, the energy is moving in your favor. But this isn't just about external achievement. It's about being seen for who you truly are. Your dedication, your vision, and the unique way you lead and inspire others. That kind of recognition lasts longer than titles or applause because it speaks to the deeper truth of your character. Still, as things start to accelerate, it's important that you don't lose your center. The pressure to keep up with success can sometimes push you into overextension, where the joy of the work gets buried under obligation. You don't need to prove your worth by staying constantly busy. In fact, the wisdom now lies in knowing when to pause, when to delegate, and when to simply breathe. A short break, a quiet afternoon, or a shift in pace might be exactly what allows the next breakthrough to arrive more naturally. This phase also asks you to reconnect with why you started. What was it that first sparked your passion? What vision carried you through the more difficult periods? Returning to that original intention can help you navigate this growth without becoming detached from yourself. The path ahead may demand more from you, but it also offers more. Especially if you remain aligned with your values and boundaries. What's happening in your work life now is part of a larger movement, a rebalancing of your energy, where effort begins to meet reward. And just as in other areas, love, healing, or finances. This transformation is as much internal as it is external. As we move into the next area, we'll explore how your body and mind are asking for the same kind of attention, not to be pushed harder, but to be supported, nourished, and restored for the journey still to come. Your body, Leo, has been carrying more than it lets on. The recent weight, whether from emotional processing, professional demands, or the sheer pace of life, may not have fully surfaced as illness or fatigue, but it has left its imprint. This is a time of gentle recovery, both physically and mentally. The current energies are offering you a chance to return to yourself, not through effort, but through care. What you need now is not intensity, but consistency, a slow, steady rhythm that rebuilds your strength from the inside out. Begin with small things that speak to your well-being, a few quiet minutes in the morning, a walk that's more about breath than steps, meals that nourish rather than just fill. None of these are grand gestures, but together they create the environment in which healing becomes possible. Meditation, light movement, and balanced nutrition aren't trends, they are grounding tools. They remind you that your body is not a machine to be pushed, but a living vessel asking to be listened to. Pay attention to how your body responds when you allow it to rest without guilt. Notice how your thoughts begin to slow when you step away from the noise, even for a short time. The clarity that arises from those pauses is not accidental. It is the signal that your inner system is recalibrating. You are not being asked to do more. You are being asked to support your energy differently, to maintain it, protect it, and rebuild your reserves with intention. As you begin this internal restoration, you may also find your relationships benefiting in subtle but meaningful ways. When you are more connected to your own rhythm, you naturally become more present with others. That presence, unforced, unhurried, is often what creates the deepest sense of connection. In the final part of our journey, we'll turn to those closest to you, your family and your inner circle, and explore how this season of healing and balance can ripple outward, strengthening the bonds that truly matter. There is a softening in the space around you now, Leo. A quiet warmth returning to your home and your closest relationships. What may have once felt tense or distant is beginning to loosen. Sometimes healing doesn't announce itself in grand gestures. It begins with simple moments, a shared meal, a phone call that feels easier than it used to, or a silence that is no longer uncomfortable. The energy in your family life is shifting, allowing old misunderstandings or past hurts to gently fall away. What remains is a more honest kind of closeness, one that doesn't require everything to be perfect, just real. This is a meaningful time to reflect on what you've inherited, not just in terms of family traditions, but in the values that have shaped you. There may be wisdom in the old ways, in the stories told across generations, or in rituals that once seemed small but now feel grounding. Lean into those threads. They can offer a sense of continuity and belonging, especially as you begin creating new memories that reflect who you are now. The past and present don't need to be in conflict. They can inform and strengthen each other if you allow them to meet. It's also a time when you may naturally feel called to be a bridge, a quiet mediator, a gentle presence that brings people together without needing to fix everything. This doesn't mean taking on others' emotional burdens. It simply means showing up with steadiness, with listening, with the willingness to see people as they are today, not just as they were. That kind of presence can be profoundly healing for everyone involved. As this phase unfolds, you may come to realize that the peace you're cultivating within yourself is beginning to echo outward. Your home, your friendships, your daily interactions, all of them reflect the balance you've worked so patiently to build. And as you continue to live with intention, the universe will meet you there, offering continued support through both subtle grace and timely reminders that you are not alone on this path. Today, Leo, the cosmic alignments invite you to notice the people whose presence naturally steadies or energizes you. Certain signs may feel especially resonant right now, not because they agree with you on everything, but because they offer a kind of balance, a perspective you may not have realized you needed. These are not just casual interactions, they carry the potential to reflect something important back to you, to challenge and support your current path in meaningful ways. Cancer, for example, brings emotional depth and intuitive care, qualities that help soften your edges when life becomes too driven. With Cancer, you may feel more comfortable expressing vulnerability or simply being quiet without explanation. Scorpio offers intensity and truth. Though not always easy, their presence encourages you to look deeper, to engage with your own emotional honesty, rather than brushing past it. Virgo grounds you. Their steady, thoughtful approach can help you organize scattered ideas or bring structure to your ambitions. When you feel overwhelmed, Virgo reminds you of the power of small, deliberate steps. Sagittarius, on the other hand, brings back your fire, but in a way that opens you up rather than wears you down. Their sense of adventure and belief in possibility might be exactly what you need to reignite a dream or shift your perspective. And Capricorn, with their quiet strength and sense of purpose, offers a mirror to your own leadership. Their presence encourages long-term thinking and reminds you that success is not only about the moment, but about what you build over time. Each of these signs brings something different to your life, not always in the form of advice, but sometimes simply through their way of being. Pay attention to who shows up, who listens without judgment, and who quietly reminds you of who you are when you're at your best. Compatibility isn't just about ease. It's about growth, respect, and shared resilience. As we close today's reflection, let this be a reminder that the universe communicates not only through events and emotions, but through people. The right conversations, the right timing, the right presence in your life is often no accident. Trust what feels genuine, and most of all, trust the quiet wisdom that continues to unfold within you, day by day, choice by choice. Radiant gold is more than just a color for you today, Leo. It is a reflection of your essence. It speaks to the quiet power you carry, even when the world around you feels uncertain. The shade is not about display or recognition, but about the inner light that continues to burn steadily, regardless of external circumstances. It represents success, not as an achievement to chase, but as something that unfolds when you are fully aligned with who you are. Wearing or surrounding yourself with gold today may help you reconnect with your natural confidence. Not the loud kind, but the grounded, centered kind that doesn't need to prove anything. It reminds you of the clarity that comes when you act from a place of purpose. Gold encourages optimism, but not blind hope. It invites you to trust in your own process, in the slow growth you've nurtured, and in the value of your presence. Let this color guide your decisions gently. When you find yourself hesitating, ask, what would it mean to choose from a place of quiet strength rather than fear? Sometimes, a small reminder, like a tone, a symbol, or even the feel of a color, can bring you back to your center more quickly than words ever could. In the days ahead, consider gold as a quiet companion, not as something to wear for attention, but as a subtle affirmation that you are on your path, and that what you carry within is already more than enough. As we close today's journey, Leo, remember that the stars do not dictate your path, they illuminate it. What you've heard today is not a fixed prediction, but an invitation to pause, reflect, and move forward with greater clarity and intention. You are standing at the threshold of change, not because you've stumbled upon luck, but because you've grown into it. Let today's messages stay with you in quiet ways, in the choices you make, in the way you listen to your body, in how you show up for your relationships, and most of all, in the trust you place in your own timing. There is no need to rush. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If today's reading spoke to you, I invite you to return when you need grounding or simply a reminder that you are not walking alone. Until next time, take care of your light and let it guide you gently forward.